Welcome back, students. Today we are going to discuss about what is our system of elections. In India, Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha elections are held regularly after every 5 years. After 5 years, the term of all the elected representatives come to an end. The Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha is dissolved. Elections are held in all the constituencies at the same time, either on the same day or within a few days. This is called general elections. And sometimes election is held only for one constituency to fill the vacancy which is caused by death or any other reason. This is called a by-election. Next, we have electoral constituencies. In our country, we follow an area-based system of representation. The country is divided into different areas for the purpose of elections. These areas are called electoral constituencies. The voters who live in an area elect one representative. For Lok Sabha elections, the country is divided into 543 constituencies. The representative elected from each constituency is called a member of parliament. One of the features of a democratic election is that every vote should have equal value. Each state here is divided into a specific number of assembly constituencies. Here, the elected representative is called the member of legislative assembly or an MLA. Each parliamentary constituency has within it several assembly constituencies. The same principle applies for panchayat and municipal elections also. Now here each village or a town is divided into several wards. Each ward elects one member of the village. Sometimes these constituencies are counted as seats. When we say that Lokdal won 60 seats in Haryana, it means that candidate of Lokdal won in 60 assembly constituencies. And thus Lokdal had 60 MLAs in the state assembly. Now we will discuss about reserved constituencies. Our constitution entitles every citizen to elect its representative and also to be elected as a representative. The constitution makers, they were worried that in an open electoral competition, certain weaker sections may not get a chance to get elected to the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assembly. So, the makers thought of a special system of reserved constituencies for the weaker sections. Some constituencies are reserved for the people who belong to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. In a scheduled caste reserved constituency, only someone who belongs to scheduled caste can stand for election. Similarly, only those belonging to scheduled tribes can contest an election from a constituency reserved for scheduled tribe. Currently, in the Lok Sabha, 79 seats are reserved for the scheduled caste and 41 for the scheduled tribe. Thus, the reserved seats for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe do not take away the share of any other social groups. This system of reservation was extended later to other weaker sections at the district and local level also. In many states, seats are reserved in rural and urban areas for OBC, that is other backward classes also. Similarly, one third of the seats are reserved in rural and urban local bodies for women candidates also. Next, we have voters list. Once the constituencies are decided, the next step is to decide who can and who cannot vote. In a democratic election, the list of those who are eligible to vote is prepared much before the elections. This list is officially called the Electoral Roll and it is commonly known as voters list. This is considered as a very important step, for it is linked to the first condition of a democratic election. Everyone should get an equal opportunity to choose a representative. As earlier, we have studied about the principle of universal adult franchise. It means that everyone should have one vote and each vote should have one equal value. No one should be denied the right to vote without a good reason. Different citizens differ from one another in many ways. Some may be rich, some poor, some may be highly educated, or some may not be educated. But all of them are human beings. That is why all of them deserve to have an equal say in decision making. In our country, all the citizens aged 18 years and above can vote in an election. Every citizen have the right to vote regardless of his or her caste, religion or gender. It is the responsibility of the government to get the names of the eligible voters and put on the voters list. As new persons attain voting age, names are added to the voters list. Names of those who move out of the place or who are dead are deleted. A complete revision of the list takes place every 5 years. In the last few years, a new system of election photo identity card (EPIC) has been introduced. The government has tried to give this card to every person on the voters list, and the voters are required to carry this card along with them. But the card is not yet compulsory for voting. For voting, the voters can show many other proofs of identity also.